Hello, everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Joep Wennemars on winning 1000 m speed skating world title 21 years after his father. I've carried that name since I was a kid. Joep Wennemars, son of Dutch Olympic bronze medalist speed skater Erben Wennemars, stunned the skating world with a sensational 1000-meter world title victory. Now, exactly 20 years after his father's Olympic success, he is aiming for glory at Milano Cortina 2026, when Dutch speed skater Joep Wennemars crossed the finish line in Norway's iconic biking skipet rink at the 2025 World Single Distances Speed Skating Championships. He looked up at the clock in disbelief. For a moment, time seemed to stop. He had just shattered the track record, captured his first world title in speed skating's demanding kilometer distance, and stood atop the same podium his father, Erben Wennemars, had topped 21 years earlier. "I don't know what happened, really. I wouldn't have dared to dream this," the 22-year-old said afterwards, his voice tinged with shock and joy. "How is this possible? How could I have won?" Among those watching with bated breath were two of his greatest supporters. His father, the Turin 2006 Olympic bronze medalist and two-time world champion over the same distance, and his girlfriend, Olympic 1000 m short track champion Suzanne Schulting. The 1000 meters, it seems, is a distance that suits this family particularly well. Their champion spirits had helped guide Wennemars through a season of deep challenges. Just months earlier, he was struggling to find form after undergoing knee surgery, a painful setback that sapped his confidence and threatened to derail his progress. At a certain moment, "I only skated for last place in the World Cups," Wennemars admitted to the ISU, reflecting on his tumultuous journey. "Then it's tough to keep believing that these kinds of things are possible." The Wennemars, a family of speed and spirit. But belief has always been at the core of the Wennemars family story. Erben, a two-time world champion in the same event back in 2003 and 2004, had instilled in him the passion for the sport, yet deliberately stepped back during his son's defining moment. "I had no contact with him today," Erben explained after his son's astonishing triumph. "When I talk to him, it is still about the tactical part of the competition. But it is his race. He has to skate from his heart. I do not want anything to do with that." The parental distance proved powerful. Wennemars skated against Canada's Laurent Dubreuil, matching the pace set by his competitor before surging ahead in the decisive final lap. His finish of 18.05 seconds not only broke the previous track record, set by his friend and mentor, the now-retired Thomas Krol, but was also beyond the reach of favorites Jenning Deboo and Jordan Stoltz. "Last week I spoke to Krol, and he said that the track record was really sharp," Wennemars said with a broad smile. "So when I looked up and saw a track record, I thought, at least I did my thing." Joep Wennemars, "My father is my biggest ally." Erben, commentating for Dutch radio that day, was given a brief reprieve from his broadcast duties to embrace his son. Tears welled up in his eyes, not just as a proud father, but as someone who knew exactly what it took to get there. "He knows exactly what this means to me," Wennemars told the ISU. "The Olympic Games may be the biggest prize to win, but I was always raised with the World Championships. Being the best in the world, that's such a beautiful notion. I've always dreamt of this. I've carried that name since I was a kid. It's got disadvantages, but just a little more advantages," Wennemars added. "My father is my biggest ally. He knows exactly what this means to me and vice versa." The emotional weight of Wennemars' victory ran deeper still. The past year had tested his resilience not only physically but also personally. The loss of his beloved grandmother, Erben's mother, had left the family grieving deeply. Overcoming such emotional and physical setbacks made the victory all the more meaningful. On the ice, amid cheering teammates, friends, and fans, Wennemars stood as his own man. His triumph signified more than just stepping out of his father's considerable shadow. It was an affirmation of his own talent and determination. In 1 year's time, the world will turn its eyes to Olympic Winter Games Milano Cortina 2026. Wennemars, one of the many faces of Dutch skating royalty, is already setting his sights on the biggest stage of all. And if this world title is any indication, the Olympics might just witness another unforgettable Wennemars moment. Please subscribe the channel, share this with a friend, thank you.